Not Nelly's eyes.
Single Jeannie Mai says that the streets aren't for her anymore.
And I'm here to give my take on all this side dish conversation.
Welcome to Side Dish. All right, we got to get that long hair pick fixed.
It's like picture roulette. You never know from day to day which version is going to be.
I like it.
Yeah, thanks, Kiddo.
Yeah, I sent the new picture, but it was heavily CGI influenced. They didn't like that. Anyway, well, here's Side Dish. We're more than an appetizer when it comes to pop culture and fun. We're the whole meal. Hope you're hungry.
Get hungry, folks. And joining us again tonight, she's an internet personality, podcaster, and speaker. You probably recognize her from her time as one of the panelists on tonight's conversation. Welcome back, Keah Rose.
Hello, hello.
How you doing?
I'm doing so good. Glad to be here with you guys.
Glad to have you back in the building, yo.
All right.
The Soto Zone.
All right. Not the Soto Zone.
A lot of people don't rep the Soto hard. It's
Let's just
usually
say Dallas.
It's usually
Dallas?
Oak Cliff, or they'd be like Dallas specifically.
Oh,
No one
Cliff.
claims the
Sometimes
Soto.
people say DFW. They just round it all
Let's
together.
do that. Let's just say DFW Zone.
We'll loop you in.
Let's just do the whole thing.
They do that in Atlanta too. Like, like, people don't really be living in Atlanta. Yeah, I stay in Atlanta. It's like, no, you're in Douglasville.
Right.
You're
not a native.
Way OTP.
Right.
Yeah, outside the circle, all right? Well, it's time to dive into a little bit of Feed Me. The weather's getting warmer, so that means vacation time. And of course, nothing is better than a room with some sort of water, right?
Yeah.
Well, see what happens when these tourists arrive at their room with a sea view.
Ooh.
Okay.
Что такое? Смотри.
В смысле? А ты что, номер с
Yo,
видом на море?
hold
Это
up.
Кухонник, что ли, получается?
Получается,
Is that a painting?
That's a screen.
Ну-ка,
No, it
sorry.
isn't.
What is this?
She looks
Ну-ка,
scared.
покажи. Спроси у нее на английском.
What is it?
Did you want to see?
Что?
See.
Sea view wallpaper? Wow.
But to be fair, it was really nice wallpaper,
It did
was
look
it
good.
not?
It did look good.
Like, imagine if it was somebody whose vision just started to go bad, or maybe an
Right.
elderly citizen with glaucoma. They wouldn't have known the difference.
Absolutely.
Beachfront, ocean view.
Yeah.
I mean, are they lying?
It was
Are
gorgeous.
they
But
lying?
Did you not see the ocean?
Yeah.
I saw the ocean.
It's like we've got, what do we have? We've got
Yeah, Hollywood.
we got Hollywood back here. We got the Space Needle.
Yeah.
Like a view of the world, actually.
We have the Eiffel Tower.
Right, it's almost like we there. I feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the
Paris
ambiance.
view.
You got to create it.
here.
And with the technology, especially with the screens and stuff like that, they could have really jazzed that up, because I hate when I go to a place and I
Yeah.
rent it based off the pictures.
Right.
And you get there and it's like, yo, this room is way smaller.
Yeah.
They shot this with a fisheye lens. 5 people can't fit in here.
But let's be real though. What they're charging, you'd be pissed. You'd be pissed. Come on, like it's nice, but no.
Also, what was that Asian lady gonna do?
Karate. Assumably.
Maybe.
That's terrible.
Maybe.
That's terrible.
No, they teach
Maybe.
martial arts over
They
there in a
do.
lot of those schools.
They do.
Yeah.
They will line up and battle. Okay, moving along before we get in trouble. Nelly stopped by the Bootleg Camp podcast, and he talked about his reunion with Ashanti and what made him want to marry her. Check this out.
Well, once we found out that she was pregnant, it was just like, I didn't want this to be not I don't want to say like
A child out of wedlock.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Well,
you
and-
guys were
and-
probably already planning,
Well,
but
we hadn't talked about it
Right,
yet. We
okay.
hadn't talked about any of that yet. I hadn't, but I was like, yo, you know what? Let's just knock this out, because we're going to be doing so much and everything's moving so fast. And I didn't want to, I didn't want her to be, a baby mama.
I
You know what I
respect
mean?
that.
Like, because we already knew where we were in life, and if we're back like this, this must be what this supposed to be.
I love it too, because sometimes people's timing is off, whether it's points in your life.
Yo.
Doesn't mean it's the wrong person, but maybe it's the wrong
Wrong time.
timing.
Exactly,
Right? So once
exactly.
you go through whatever you go through, whatever she goes through, you guys evolve, but you guys know each other
Yo.
and love each other.
Well, any relationship, man, I base any relationship on, does this person bring more good to your life than bad?
Yeah.
Any relationship. It could be your relationship with your parents, your kids,
sure.
your
A homie, whatever, yeah.
Anything. Does this person bring more good to your life than bad? And if they do, then great. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
then, but if they don't, then you know that you might need to remove this person from being able to be get some of your time.
Back there, Nelly.
Bootleg kept trying to save him too. He's like, yeah, sometimes because because Nelly has other baby mamas.
Yeah,
You know
he
what I mean?
does.
He didn't want to completely set him up to throw the other lady away because imagine how you feel if you're the other baby mom. Is like, well, what about me? I'm
But
a whole baby mama.
mind you, she came out. I thought his ex, right, and was like, she tried to give him some space, but then he showed up with Ashanti and popped out with a new boo.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
Yeah, you
she's like,
remember
I'm going to
that?
give him some space. That was exactly the conversation.
Yeah.
That's why you don't give people space.
Yeah, not too much.
Have you ever gave somebody space or have been given space?
No, I've never been given space. I've given space.
You've gifted the
I've
space?
gifted the space, yes. But once I gift you the space, I don't expect it to spin the block.
All the space.
Yeah, like stay away from me, basically. Yeah.
That's what I always say. When people say they need some time and it's over. It's over. 9 times out of 10, you're never coming back to that situation.
Yeah.
Like the space is this gives you it's like an intermission in the show. You either gonna come back because you're enjoying the show or you gonna leave.
Yeah.
And a lot of times people keep going.
But what do you think about the whole would this be called like a shotgun wedding? Because
I think technically for the term.
Yeah, because they didn't know that they were gonna have a baby. They got pregnant, and then he didn't want her to be a baby mama, so he's like, let's just get married. Is that a good gesture? Or is that?
I don't think it's a bad gesture.
Right.
So is it default good? I'm not sure. But I like the idea. I don't know. It's one of those things like neither one of them are young. They're not like kids.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
right.
And so they're both established in their careers. They've both lived enough life,
Yeah, okay.
Do you think Nelly went, oh? Went like that night, where he made the baby.
What you mean?
Yeah, that's the sound he makes at the beginning. A little bit of.
It was hot in there for sure. Yeah, it was hot. It was hot in there for sure.
But I like this couple together. Every
I
now
do
and then you
too.
see somebody together where you're
do
like,
too.
I hope they go to distance, and I hope they go to distance.
I hope they go to distance too.
Every time he's talked about it and every time we've seen the two of them together, they've looked very happy. And to me, that's the telltale.
Oh, no, it shouldn't be.
Shouldn't be?
No, looking happy.
Well, they seem happy.
Okay, well, yeah, I don't want to be a negative Nelly. Okay, Did you like?
You did that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yo, man, and the thing is, when you think about how much time there was between the first time they were together and now, they really, it was what Jennifer Lopez's thing should have been. With Ben.
They tried. They tried
really
so
tried.
hard.
But see, Ben didn't look happy.
He didn't, did he?
He looked so miserable.
That man looked angry every
Yeah,
single time you
every
saw him.
time.
And he aged a little bit, like when people become president.
Yeah, like Obama did.
He went gray real quick.
Stressed out, man. Yeah. Well, switching gears. Jeannie Mai stopped by our Sis Sherry show, and she let it be known that she is not trying to be out in these streets since her marriage to Jeezy has ended. Take a look.
Regardless if I do end up with somebody or not, I'm so happy that I have me.
One of the other things is, being a single mom, because you hold your child's heart in your hands, is dating again.
Girl, the streets scare me. I don't want, could we just bring back spending time by yourself, journaling?
Yes,
sitting
you
at
can do
home in your grandma panties and just not caring that
You
nobody
can do
gets to
all
tell you
of
what
that.
to do. I love right now.
Yes.
Honestly, I think my whole life we've kind of, as women, have been prepared to how are you gonna talk to your new boyfriend? How are you gonna get that first kiss?
Right.
Who are you gonna marry? Who are you gonna date when you get divorced? How are you gonna get back out in these streets? I don't wanna be in the streets. The streets don't want me. I wanna be by myself.
Okay.
I am paid for fully. I am under warranty. I can eat my own French fries at that table. I don't have to share with anybody. I can go to bed when I want to. I can sit there and scroll aimlessly as long as I need.
I like how she's dressed like a jewel thief.
That
She
what I'm
was
saying.
cute.
What's she doing? Was she telling you to not pass go to collect $200? You know what I'm saying?
She did put that gate down, that metal gate that lets you know the store is closed.
Right.
Well, maybe because she said she doesn't want to entice nobody. She kind of wants you to stay the hell away from her so she could scroll and eat French fries by her damn self.
by
That's what she
herself.
said.
Like French fries.
Yeah.
Sit in her granny panties.
That threw me off.
Whatever floats your boat. I'm happy for you. She said she's paid for it, so she's all right.
But what did that mean though? Did
she save up enough where she's just like
everything's good for her?
I have no idea because she was married to that fellow she was with before Young Jeezy.
Right,
so I don't know if she's getting if she got alimony from that and stashed it. I don't know what she got out of the thing with Young Jeezy. So technically, after 2 successful divorces with some people doing pretty well.
Yo, successful divorces.
Crazy.
Hard.
When you
That goes
divorce
real
2
hard.
successful people, like that's a successful divorce. Like it's like when if an agent has 10 clients, if they're getting 10% off, or you got 100% of a salary, you don't need to do no work.
Take him to class. Take him to class, head crack.
So
if
you got half twice,
then you got a hole.
You a hole.
But see, I didn't like. I just feel like she's in that. She's going through the divorce. She's going through her public humiliation because it was kind of humiliating, right?
Yeah.
And now she's like, well, why can't I just be single? Why are everybody's being pushed to be in relationships and different things like that? It's like you only feel that way because you're going through that right now.
Yeah.
It wasn't just a couple years ago where you were like, be married, be a man, be a man's wife. And it's just funny how the tables turn. That's all.
Yeah.
The other thing too is the setting. It's like I want to see her show up over on Club Shay Shay and say the same thing.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? Like she's on Sherry's show. We love Sherry.
Yeah.
We love Sherry very much. But a lot of daytime television is oriented towards women.
Yes.
Women's empowerment. It's just like I don't need no man era. Like that
Clock
works
it.
really well in those settings. People are gonna applaud for you and say you're great. And like yes, I do want to eat those French fries.
By my damn self with my granny panties.
Yeah.
Paid for. Okay.
So out of all the colors on the color wheel that you could possibly end up with next, if you was to make a guess,
Why are you doing this?
And we're gonna put this in there like a time capsule.
Why are you doing
because
this?
there was one point in time with Jeannie Mai, and like this tells me that she is indecisive. And here's the thing, you can date whoever you want to date because love is love. But she said, she's like the dark meat was more like the side dish or something like that.
Did you hear that? You clocked that
We
tea.
would never. We all heard it.
You clocked that tea, right?
Yeah. And then we became an entree for a season.
Oh, for a season.
For a season.
Now
So
she's by herself.
you think she's gonna go Dominican?
I think she's gonna go Asian.
Okay.
Really?
I think she's gonna go back home.
Back to her roots.
Do you know what type of Asian she is?
No, I don't. Is it Vietnam?
Don't look at me.
I don't want you to string me along in your shenanigans at all.
The voice in my ear said that she's Vietnamese with a lot of confidence.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So we'll go with that.
Yeah.
I think she's gonna. What do you guys? Maybe Middle Eastern.
Vietnamese might work. I've never seen a Middle Eastern person and a Vietnamese person.
Have you?
Yeah.
Oh no, me neither. Now that I think about it,
Yeah.
maybe Hispanic.
Yeah.
I can see that.
The
I can see
rice,
that.
the rice kebab.
Gonna have to have more kids. So. That ain't enough.
Be ready. Prepare that uterus.
I bet. Here's the thing, though, is like I bet my gut just tells me that there might secretly be somebody that she's talking to.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, she said, I think I read somewhere where she said she has friends to handle that little tingle.
Oh,
that's what she said.
the tingle.
Yeah, so she's not, just because you're single doesn't mean you're lonely.
Right.
Right, I'm alone, but I'm not lonely, baby.
Okay, there's a difference.
There's a difference.
Read between the lines, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
What you got?
Dr. Cheyenne Bryant chatted with Jason Lee on his show, and she shared that she's been dating for a year, but she is not giving up her cookies. What? Okay, check it out.
This is my thing. Why would a woman allow someone to penetrate their body, but I can't penetrate full access and transparency to you?
Dr. Bryant, Dr. Cheyenne from LA, they are going to drag you for filth.
I want to be penetrated.
I like how he warned her.
Yeah.
So what?
Heads up.
Run that back again, because she's not dating. She's dating for a year.
She is dating, but she cannot penetrate. I think it's like not the peg penetrate, but the idea of like penetrating your emotional safety or your emotional barrier.
Okay.
Is that what she's talking about?
I don't know. I think she meant like, because I read the comments, and
Okay.
I think she was
What were they
talking.
talking about?
They were talking about like she wanted full transparency. Like, let me see your phone. Let me get into your life. Like, don't penetrate my body, something so precious to me, and I don't know every single thing about you. So let me have that password. Let me have that password to your email. Let me see your My Chart.
Yeah.
The My Chart?
I want to see it
That
all.
is
I mean,
a forensic level of diving
Trying to look at my
deep.
23 and me.
But my thing is, so that's personal to you, right?
Right.
Right. But so is a woman's body, right?
I think it has to be an even exchange. If I'm gonna show you my chart, you have to show me your low chart. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
is that the trade-off?
that's the
But also,
trade-off.
here's
like
the other
that.
thing is I also don't think she's out of line at all because she was talking about seeing somebody for a year.
Yeah, a year.
Like, what are we doing at a year? You know?
But the thing is, like, there has to have been some things that happened prior to what she's talking about now that has put her in this defensive space that she's in.
Well, she did say, she has, I know her, and, she's spoken openly about the fact that she's had several engagements and different things and been, caught up with womanizers and cheaters. So maybe she does have that extra level of like, I'm not going to let you touch me until I know every single thing about you.
Okay.
So, I mean, is that a fair exchange? Like, I will give you my low chart, but I do need the email, the password to your email,
Based
phone.
on what you just told me, yeah, it makes sense. Like, that's why people, I mean, everybody's stance on things only gets conjured up because of the things that got them to where they are in life.
And that's true. That's really true, though.
I'm just trying to think, what are the pieces of my information that make for a fair exchange? Like, what is the dossier that I need to hand over and be like, now, what you think?
Yeah, like if you could put value for value.
Yeah,
Like,
right. It's like, you want my email, my Gmail, my IG DMs? Here, have them.
You want my words with friends?
Yeah, what are we talking about here?
Messing me
you
up,
can chat
guys. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not scared of it though. Like the times that and that's also because I'm not messy. So it's like I don't have a problem if a girl like wants to see my phone or wants to see my messages. That's never been a thing that's been an issue.
But I mean, like if I want to, I get that because you're not like a cheater, right? You're like a faithful guy.
Yeah.
But I mean, can I see the group chat with you and your homeboys?
Okay,
Just like,
now
come
hold
on, like you know what I'm
second.
saying? Like
because the language in there is not language that I would use in front of you.
But I want to see it because I want to know the real you.
Okay, I would let you.
And
see
the crazy thing is, like, that's not a fair exchange on the flip side because, like, yo, the stuff that women be talking about in their group chat
I don't want
is
you, and it's not a fair exchange for what y'all got working. It's not a fair exchange.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Do you have a group chat with women where you talk recklessly about dudes?
And I wouldn't exchange the password for sex at all.
I also feel like most women's DMs are much more full than most men's DMs.
Well, yeah. Well, most men are in the women's DMs, married and in a relationship and all that.
But I wonder how she would feel if the shoe was on the other foot. If there was a guy that she was dating that liked her a whole lot, and she liked this guy, and she's like, "Yo, I'm not giving you no, street meat unless I see this, that, and the third." Like if the gun was turned around in the other direction, would that same energy be kept?
No, probably not. But I kind of want to touch on the fact that she said she wasn't giving up the cookies. Does she mean not to him? Because I'll give it out to other people, but maybe just not to you because I really like you.
See, now that's
I really
all
like
messed
you.
up. That's why we can't. That's a real messy situation. Yeah.
And one of our producers, Bianca, said she dated a guy for a year and he gave her all the access without her giving it up. So I would have felt cheated in that situation.
Yeah, if you were the next guy.
Because your personal space is your personal space.
It is.
I have 7 siblings, but I operate as the only child.
The other thing too, though, is like we allow people who we are more attracted to get away with worse behavior.
It's true.
And so it's like, right? And so if there's some guy that she is giving it up to, but she's potentially more interested in this guy seriously over here, she's doing this man a disservice.
Yes.
Like, let's be real.
That's true. I can see that.
To everybody in the chat, what do you feel like is a fair exchange? Like, in a new relationship, maybe you've been vetting this thing for about a year or whatnot. What's a fair exchange of whether it be information, I guess maybe, whether it's access to the email, text, bank statements.
You want to see my blood work?
Street meat, all I need is the bank account information. That's it. I just need to know what your bank account information is. That's all I need.
Okay. 2024 could have been a good year. 2025 could have been a dismal one.
Well, then the price has changed.
Okay, so
yesterday's price isn't today's price.
So at this price, you get option to these doors. And then if the money is good, then you get full run.
We're headed into a recession, all right?
I don't want to play no more.
Well, listen, man, after the break, man, we got so much more to talk about. Maybe some of your comments will pop up on the screen, too, man. We'll see y'all in 2 minutes.
I wonder if you know that I want the best for you. But how long will you fight solo? I wonder if you know that we can get help. Not wondering anymore. Love, your mind.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know wherever you are.
As we work to get through these times together, you may not be thinking about blood donation, but blood is needed to save the lives of people who are sick with a range of illnesses. It's easy and safe to give. If you are in good health, please donate. We need heroes now. Visit redcrossblood.org to schedule an appointment.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know wherever you are.
Welcome back, man. We are still hanging out here with our homegirl, Keah Rose, and we got to know a lot about you last night.
Yeah.
But can you tell us about your podcast, Unmedicated and Educated with Keah Rose?
Well, okay, so, you know, I started this podcast because I wanted to talk to, like, zany people that when you see them, you might be like, you got some problems, right?
Okay.
Because I got some problems. Like, you know, we all have, you know, issues, but I think that we don't talk about mental health enough. We don't talk about mental health a lot. You know, it's still a stigma around it. And so I really wanted to, like, deep dive, dissect, and diagnose, and that's what we do.
Deep dive, dissect, and diagnose.
Sometimes we diagnose, even though I'm not, you know, I'm not a real doctor. I can tell you what's wrong with you. Okay, because there's a lot wrong with me.
Right,
and so, you know, problems recognize, like, you know, mental illness recognizes mental illness.
The devil knows his own.
You get what I'm saying? So that's, you know, that's what the pie is about.
We got it. So for some people who may not know, you no longer work with tonight's conversation.
Right.
Can you give viewers, and I know this is probably hard, can you give viewers like a 90-second recap of how this happened?
I can definitely try.
Okay.
So when I started out with tonight's conversation, I call the owner of it Mojo Jojo, right?
Mojo Jojo?
Yeah, for other reasons. But it started off a pod where we talked about relationships. We all gave our perspectives, and it was something that we were growing together and really building. I thought that I had that's a funny picture. I thought that I had like a stake in the game, right? So I was giving my ideas. I was working really hard because I thought that we were growing something beautiful, and it did. It's one of the top podcasts in the relationship field. But then, slowly I realized that it wasn't going to be like a long journey for me. He was planning a
coup?
Yeah, throw me away there. And so we got into it. I crashed out a little bit. And now I'm ready to start my healing journey.
There we go.
That's what I'm ready to do now. I'm ready to move on. But, you know, it's just the sort of thing like, let's say you start something with your friends, like maybe a rock band, and it's getting real big. And now, you know, you were once a really important part of it. And
that's what happens when things start to get big.
That's all.
Eyes and attention start to flow that way.
Money rolls in. Money came in. Money came in fast.
Yeah. Those egos start to.
Yeah, and that's why I call it Mojo Jojo, because you see you did that. Well, so if you know the Powerpuff Girls, then you know that Mojo Jojo under his hat was this big ass brain. But instead it's like his ego. So
okay, I didn't even connect that to Powerpuff Girls. You're smart. The glasses aren't for display purposes only.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I got a little something. So that's what happened. You know,
There's nothing wrong with
they break up.
Yeah, but and there's nothing wrong with removing yourself from a situation that no longer serves you.
That's it.
And there's a lot of times people will sit in something and suffer and just try like, I'm gonna patch up the shit.
And I did for 4 years.
Yeah.
So I did, and I seen, and that's the whole point. I don't know if you guys saw my series on it, but it was called Who the F Did I Work For, right? Because I was patching it up, and I was like, this isn't gonna be so bad because I really believed in it. But then when you no longer can, when the Scotch tape doesn't work anymore and it all crashes, what do you do?
Go on the shore and watch everyone drown.
That's right. That's right. Paddles ashore.
So what you got cooking up next?
Well, I'm still working on Unmedicated and Educated, and I got some other shows brewing because I'm like a really, really funny person, and I want to bring like authenticity, comedy back. You know what I'm saying? I think things are too serious now. Everybody wants to be a guru. Everybody wants to tell you what you're doing wrong. But my thing is like, are you really living like that?
Right.
Do you really mean what you say? Can you practice what you preach? If you can't, why are you preaching it? Let's just go back back to comedy, authenticity, where you go on the internet and have some fun.
Yeah.
That's it.
I like how people, like, you know, some people go out there and fail on purpose and be like, hey, listen, like, yo, man, I did this thing and I was terrible at it. There was one video I watched of yours where, like, you had something on your shirt. Most people would have scrubbed that whole video and started from the beginning. The fact that you could be your unapologetic, authentic self, take me as I am world.
Or don't take me at all.
Yeah, that's dope.
Very simple. That's
That's
it.
dope.
You know?
We got it. We try to have fun. We try to have that fun attitude here on Side Dish.
I like it here. It's very, like, I feel loose. Not too loose.
not that loose.
Not that loose.
I'm gonna need to see your My chart.
All right. Don't do that.
Okay, all right, moving along. Essence Adkins stopped by the Effective Immediately radio show, and she wanted the people to know that she doesn't like when y'all say she dated this YN's brother. Check it out.
I don't like when people say me and Marlon dated. Never happened.
Yeah.
Never happened. One of the reasons that I get so upset about it is because it undermines the fact that we are such good friends and he has warred for me. He has championed me. He has advocated for me just based on GP, just based on love, brother sister love, and it does exist and it can exist. Everybody who's single and attractive does not have to sleep together. And the more that you realize that, and the reason again that I get upset about undermining what the true history between he and I is because I feel like it doesn't encourage people to have wisdom. Like, if I had been reckless enough, I mean, the man is very handsome and very talented and is an incredible human being, but I also know he's not my person.
Oh, very nice.
Interesting.
I understand her. I get it. I really do. It's like, you know, why can't we just be professional? Yes, we have good chemistry, but I don't want to, just because we have good chemistry and we like each other and we do good work, I don't want people to think that I slept with you or that we're dating. Why?
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and you see it all the time. Somebody's watching something at home, and it'll be a show, whether it be a talk show or even like a series, like a Grey's Anatomy or whatever. You'll see it all the time where it's like two actors are working a movie, and suddenly the rumor's like, oh, they're hooking up and they're together. And it's like, no, you can be professionals and have a great friendship with someone and you know, not need to see their My charts.
I think sometimes
Tanner with this My chart, bro.
It's a thing. It's all
It is a thing.
But then sometimes, like, I think when people see people together, their imaginations run wild. And they're like, oh, this would be a good-looking couple. Let's make that a thing.
But say that then. Say, like, y'all would look cute together rather than, like, running this. Because in Hollywood, you already know. Like, that looks like she just had his baby.
That's a booed-up pose.
Yeah.
That is a booed-up pose.
But, like, is he a touchy-feely guy? Maybe he's a touchy-feely guy.
I'm sure he is.
Yeah.
That's like ass neck almost.
It was kind of like
he was touching.
It did look pretty, you know. But I see where she's coming from. You know, can men and women be friends?
They
just
can.
platonically.
But just know, every
Why you
man
make that
that's a
face?
friend.
I didn't mean to make that face. I just made the face. Like, yes.
You don't have any girlfriends? Like, friends that are girls?
I do. I certainly do.
Do you want to sleep with them?
Okay.
Have you slept with them?
Wait a minute.
Uh-oh.
Hold on just a second.
Come on, dish it.
No, dish it. No, it's like I do think men and women can be friends, but I also think that the more physically attracted you are to someone, the more complicated it can get.
Okay.
That's fair,
That's
right?
fair.
Especially if you have a lot of chemistry with a given human being. Like, you really pop and snap, you know, in a setting like this, you're really funny together, the chemistry lines up, everyone's laughing, and then you go out and you have lunch and you have that same sort of chemistry and it's just the two of you. Like, things can get a little blurry.
That's true.
You know?
I feel like every guy that is friends with a girl hopes that they one day get whistled for and called into the game.
It's tricky because, like, there are, like, without a doubt, I've been, oh wow, we're really going there. There have been plenty of, I've had many wonderful, amazing female friends that it has always been strictly platonic from like beginning to end. But then I've also had female friends that I was like very attracted to, and at certain points in time I was like, is this a thing? And then you find out, no, it's probably not a thing, and that's fine. That's totally fine and fair, I think.
That's good. I've definitely, I've friend-zoned a lot of people. I can't even hold you. But when I did have a platonic friend that I really believed he was my friend, I realized that, you know, he was playing the long game because he was hoping that I would call him in. And so I don't feel like he was my real friend. I felt really betrayed after that.
That's sad.
I wouldn't look at it like that. I don't think it's ever a situation where people are necessarily playing the long game. But hey, if you are available for that activity, I think most guys wouldn't turn it down, especially if they were friends.
But it's gonna ruin everything.
It can, and that's why you gotta have the wherewithal within yourself to be like, yo, I value the friendship too much, or sometimes people let the lust, or sometimes alcohol get the best of them.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, you're doing a dance off.
Yeah, that's true.
What is what's the word when you're like you're playing games with another person? That's what like the long game is. If someone's just running the long game on you, they're not actually being your friend.
Right.
You know, I'm talking about somebody who like is genuinely your friend and seen you through many seasons of life.
But would, you know,
but if
stuff your Chipotle bowl if he had
exactly.
I see what you're saying.
Give you the carne asada. You know
yeah, you know what I mean.
I like your style, yo. Guac it up. Crystal Stewart stopped by the Kelly Clarkson show, and she talked about the time Tyler Perry invited her and some others to Italy. Well, she made it, but her luggage didn't. But it was cool because TP saved the day. Check it out.
Get there finally. My luggage doesn't show up. Oh. We're there. There we go. Good job. For a week. I'm there for a week and I have nothing. Zero. So at some point, I was just exhausted. I'm in the car and I just start crying. Right? My mom was like, if you don't stop crying, I'm going to come take that trip for you. Yeah. But I just was exhausted. There's a fire, right? And so get there. He's like, Crystal, don't worry about it. I know you had a hard time getting here. Here is my black card.
Which I'm like, what a man, what a man. I'm not a good man. I'm like, I have never. I'm always buying, like, in my whole damn life, I'm the one handing the card. Ain't nobody ever handed me no damn card.
Tyler Perry's black card. Like, come on. So he was like, look, go get the things that you need. And I'm like, that is so nice. I need, you know, undergarments. I need pajamas. I need clothes. But I went to the Rolex store.
I need a new resident.
You violated. There we go.
Rolex store. Tyler Perry's black card. Where would you go?
Where would you go if you had Tyler Perry's black card?
I would do exactly what I said I needed the card for, because the thing is, you don't want to burn that bridge and that opportunity.
He wouldn't notice. He wouldn't notice.
He might not. Okay.
$100,000 real quick, he wouldn't notice.
He writes 98% of the scripts just because he wants to make sure he knows what's going. He gonna notice.
Here's the thing about the black card, though, is like the black card has no limit. They're not making a phone call to double check.
Exactly. I can like goosebumps.
It's Tyler Perry. Like, who knows? Do you know how much money you have to spend on a card to get a black card? You got to spend like millions a year on a credit card.
That's what I'm saying. He would. She said pajamas. She said underwear. I'm talking. I need a new residence. I would have been shaking, crying, saying some shit, like some stuff blew up back home, and I needed to.
I would have bought the best underwear that money could buy, and the best like track suits, you know, the whole kit.
You're an honest guy. That's honest.
I am, because here's the thing. The karma boomerang always come back.
Okay.
There's a reason why I don't have my camera right now.
No. Okay, I see what you're saying, though.
I read a play a couple weeks ago, and I got away clean. And then, like...
But what if she had, like, 4 Rolexes in the luggage?
Wait, hold on a second. I want to circle back to a detail at the beginning. I believe, HK, from your read, did Tyler Perry not fly her out to Italy in the first place?
Yeah.
Did he not invite her, like, put a whole trip to Italy? Like, somebody sure as hell wasn't gonna notice.
I mean, I guess when you got Tyler Perry money, you're not gonna notice a Rolex missing. But if you see a Rolex on a wrist of a person that didn't have a Rolex 2 days ago and just needed your card,
it was in my luggage. You don't know what was in my luggage.
You can get a Fitbit for 4 days.
I literally, I always pack $100,000. I don't know if you guys do it, because I'm a woman. I always pack $100,000. So if my luggage is gone, I need to replenish this.
Okay.
Oh, that was in your luggage, yeah. Here's the other thing: is like stories like this normalize men with infinite pockets. And there's not a lot of them out there.
No, there isn't.
Definitely not one right here.
I'm more of a Kelly Clarkson. When she says she's always giving the card, it would be nice to get it for once. Okay, let's move on. Kylie Kelsey had our forever First Lady Michelle Obama on her podcast, and the two talked about being taller and how short women need to leave the tall men for the tall women. Let's check it out.
Oh, and, you know, I'm not going to lie. Doesn't it irritate you when the wee people take the tall guys?
Do you know the number of conversations? My sister's 5'9", I'm 5'11". When we were in high school, we would always complain about, well, this girl's like 5 feet tall and she's dating a guy who's 6'5". You can't save that for us. And my mom would always be like, hello, excuse me.
See, I don't know. I would have some issues with your mom. I'd be like,
we gave it to her. Let me tell you, she did not come out unscathed. But she would always stand up for herself. And it's, you know what? To be
for
fair,
her little self, she'd stand on her toes.
That's it.
She'd look up and say, "Hey."
That's it. Now,
Interesting.
I like seeing short men with tall women. I like seeing it.
So you can laugh
Wait, you're talking about the whole reverse. You're talking about short men with tall women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to see that, but not so I can laugh, because it's like, to me, it means that that man has confidence.
Okay.
Like he sees that tree and he's gonna climb it.
Listen, I've climbed a couple trees and it's a special feeling.
Yeah.
It really is.
Well,
like you're defying the laws of nature.
King of the world.
Yeah, people look at you and they're like, wow.
But what's the tallest girl you've dated?
Oh, I've dated 2 women over 6 feet tall, for sure. Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah, it was great.
Did they play ball?
Yeah.
Or Did they play ball?
No, one of them, both models.
Oh, wow, clock it.
Don't worry.
Tanner bags models.
Part-time. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, like I was messing with a chick who, like, and it's weird. You know how like, you say people in your phone under weird names?
What did you do? Street meat?
I named her in a 6 foot other name, you know, but just because she was 6 feet, and I don't even remember. I don't even want to say the name, just in case she. Like,
I hope you know.
Yeah, but.
Oh, you're saying like six foot Brittany.
Like 6 foot Judy?
Right. No. Yeah, but like I wrote their ethnicity, but.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
It's
but
ridiculous.
The thing is, if you have the confidence to pull that tall person, great.
Yeah.
But I don't like when tall people shame way shorter people.
Okay, that's fair.
And I'm like a cruiserweight height.
Well, what's your height?
I'm 5'10".
You're 5'10"?
I'm not tiny. I'm like a default character height. If you play a video game and make a guy, I'm the height you start at.
Hey, Craig.
Yeah.
What's your height?
5'10". I'm 5'10". On my driver's license, 5'10". My whole life.
First off, I'm just like, I believe him. Why are you?
I'm also Vietnamese. It says
I was
it in my.
sitting
It says
when you
it on
walked
mine.
out here.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I think maybe 5'8.5".
No, not at all. Not at all. Let me elongate my
I'm just kidding,
spine.
y'all. I'm just kidding, y'all. You know, I like
I'm
to
about
joke
to crawl out from my cave.
I like to joke with
in
men
the
about their
mines.
height, because you guys get kind of sensitive about it. You know, it's kind of like women with their weight.
Okay, fair enough.
Well, just joking.
Well, we're going to take a 2-minute break and measure ourselves. But when we come back, man, what happens when a pilot forgets his passport, but the plane is already in the air? We're going to tell you about that in 5'10".
I wonder if you know that I want the best for you. But how long will you fight solo? I wonder if you know that we can get help. Not wondering anymore. Love, your mind.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie. Nailed it. We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
As we work to get through these times together, you may not be thinking about blood donation, but blood is needed to save the lives of people who are sick with a range of illnesses. It's easy and safe to give. If you are in good health, please donate. We need heroes now. Visit redcrossblood.org to schedule an appointment.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know wherever you are.
Welcome back. Now, imagine being on a flight and you excited to travel to Shanghai, and the pilot forgot his passport. Well, this is exactly what happened to the 257 passengers and 13 crew members aboard a United Airlines flight.
Oh my gosh. All right, so the Shanghai-bound flight left LAX, that's Los Angeles, at 2 p.m. on March 22nd, but had to bust a U-ey 2 hours into the flight after the pilot realized he left his passport at home. They landed in San Francisco, where another crew took over, and passengers finally pulled up in Shanghai 6 hours behind schedule.
Oh my God. For the inconvenience convenience. One of the passengers said he was given 2 meal vouchers totaling $30.
That's not enough.
$30.
$30 for 6 hours?
I'm flipping everything over.
Because you know people got plans as soon as the plane touched down, and you kind of messing with my whole vacation. Like, what if I only had, I don't know, 48 hours to be in Shanghai, now I got 42.
Facts, exactly.
Also, how do you, first off, I never even thought about pilots having passports, but now I guess it just makes sense.
I mean, you know they have it, but why do I need it? Like, I'm flying the plane. You should just trust that I could be in the country.
Yeah. I mean, China a little weird.
Yeah, I mean,
you
a
know,
little bit.
they a little tight, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so I understand that component of it, but they need to ease up. Like, this hat and the fact that I just jumped out of the cockpit, no, that should be enough to let you know that I fly the plane.
These little stars, this little plane pin, I got my name right here.
You need me to bust the plane in reverse just to show you
I hate that, though, because if you know, like, traveling is so exhausting. So the fact that we were already 2 hours in and now you're going to turn around, and I'm not going to lie, when it said United, I was like, yep, makes sense.
Do you think he came around and he was like, attention everybody, I have some really bad news? And do you think he told them?
Nope. I think he just did it.
He's like, we have a mechanical issue, we're going to reroute the flight, and then never said a word?
Yeah, something like that.
I would keep it a secret. I'd be like, well, running out of gas.
Yeah.
And the co-pilot's like, what are you talking about? I'm like,
Because the passengers get angry.
Yes.
And when, you know, $30 meal vouchers?
Yeah.
Is it plain food?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's slapping, depending what airline you
No, man, come on. Plain food?
I've always liked plain food.
Hey, Craig.
just hungry on planes?
Specifically on Delta.
Okay, Delta plane food.
I mean,
Delta ain't playing around.
I mean, Delta.
Like, at all. I don't know what they give you on United. I ain't flown them on purpose in a long
I
time.
have, and it's not. It's dog food.
Ooh, brother, ooh.
All right, moving on. Oh, man, my favorite villain is back. The glam shot sorority girl strikes again. One of my cousins, Lily Stewart, a 20-year-old University of Georgia sophomore, just racked up her second arrest this month. And, of course, she's got the Model S mugshot to prove it again.
Yep, she was first arrested on March 8th, where she was pulled over twice for speeding, and then on March 23rd, she was arrested for loitering, prowling, and obstructing a law enforcement officer when she tried to flee the scene because Shorty was out on bond.
Do y'all think Lily is having a rough month, or is she doing it for, like, clout? Let's be real.
She's trying to get a free photo shoot.
Yeah.
She looked good.
That's the thing, is like, she's unbothered by all of this. Drag me in, take my mugshot. I wish you would.
Well, if you look that good, look at her.
I mean, meanwhile, we would be pressed and stressed.
Man.
After getting arrested that many times in 1 month.
Yeah.
You know, like, because they're going to rough us up a little bit, and our hair ain't going to look as good.
I mean, she looked a little rough in a second one. Her eyes were a little.
She's got, in that second photo, it's a little bit of the old, a little bit of the old crazy.
She do look crazy.
It's like sneaking out a little bit there. I mean, she also laughing. She's like, I can't believe I did it again.
A girl with his eyes knows your phone password, and you didn't give it to her.
Yeah.
Oh, so what do you think? What do you think's next for her?
This is the kind of thing that where suddenly she gets, like, I don't know, like some law office sponsors her having a podcast, or she winds up on Love is Blind, or something like that, or The Amazing Race. You know, that's what happens to these people.
Her and Hawk Tour Girl are going to do a podcast.
Yo.
her Hawk Tour Girl, and what's the girl that was just with Bobby Altoff, the black chick? Sukihana. Yeah, Sukihana, Hawk Tour Girl, and the other girl.
I would watch it, though.
Yeah.
But I got problems. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not my screws are a little loose. Yeah.
Would say y'all in the chat, man, holla at us. What should she do next? Probably go to jail for a longer time so she can't get back out. Like, I mean, not everybody's afford the luxury, right? Anyway, we're kicking off a new segment where we explore random sciencey things on the internet. It's time for
Random Investigations. Ooh. So, are your eyebrows thinning and not so on fleek anymore? Well, Dr. Christy Bailey is letting you in on a little Hollywood hair growth hack. Check this out.
True or false? You can transplant hair from your genitals to fill in your eyebrows.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. I know this.
She's got it. You sure can. You sure can.
I know a celebrity who did this. I won't say the name, but I know a celebrity who did this.
Okay. It's actually the preferred. It's the preferred way of getting hair. Normally, we would take hair from the back of the scalp, put it onto the front. But for the eyebrows, the genital hair is a little shorter and a little bit curly, so it works really well for the eyebrows.
Do you know who's done it?
Absolutely.
Well, Chrissy Teigen, Megan Good. Yeah. So there are a few celebrities who have done it.
And they publicly said that?
I don't know if they said where they got the hair from, but they did have eyebrow transplants.
They did have eyebrow transplants.
Wow.
Girls, there's a fix for that 90s overplucking, okay?
I am not about to have some short and curlies busting out from my eyebrows.
You said busting out. Wow. The eyebrows mean a lot to me. Like I try to make sure my eyebrows are on fleek. I'll just say this: if I'm using mine, it's gonna grow. It's gonna grow rapidly. You know what I'm trying to say? Like it's gonna grow rapidly.
Mine might already be because they already grow it out like this.
Crazy, right?
Yeah, I got like this one hair that just like does whatever it wants, and like it's always getting tweezed.
Here's the thing. Okay, this is what you don't know about me. They know. I don't mind talking about it. I've had 2 hair transplants, just regular, regular from the back of my head around to the front of my head. I've already done that. It is not a pain-free process.
Oh, it hurts.
A little. There's a recovery component. And so the idea of them doing the stuff that takes it out here and taking it from here is horrifying.
Ooh.
Yeah, I wouldn't want no nutty eyebrows. I just wouldn't, right? And if you was to think about or point fingers at any celebrity who is giving that nutty, crazy, unkept eyebrow look, like who do you think could fill the void? Because Eugene Levy.
That's what I was going to say.
To be as old as he is. His eyebrows is wild lush, yo.
Eyebrows thick as hell.
See, and that's my situation. That's what it would look like.
That's the smile I would have, knowing that people are looking at the pubes on my face.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Like that man eats biotin for breakfast to maintain his eyebrows.
I just gotta say, I don't like that she told the names of the. You know, we don't know where it came from, but
yeah, she alleged them up. You like thick eyebrows on a man?
I do.
See, that's the thing is, I thought about getting them because mine are blonde. You can't hardly see them at all.
No, yours goes with your face. Don't bust them out too much.
Don't bust them out. All right. We're going to be back with celebrity birthdays and more side dish in just 2 minutes.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know wherever you are.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie, nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on, man, let's put a ride home.
As we work to get through these times together, you may not be thinking about blood donation, but blood is needed to save the lives of people who are sick with a range of illnesses. It's easy and safe to give. If you are in good health, please donate. We need heroes now. Visit redcrossblood.org to schedule an appointment.
I was a quarterback at Hardaway High School. College first-round draft pick. During the football season, I would stop eating. But I didn't know I was depressed. We didn't have any education behind what mental health was. I started to learn it starts here first. If this is together, I'll be better as a father and as a husband. We have to redefine what being a strong man is and heal, love your mind.
Welcome back, guys. It is hump day, and it's also your birthday. If it's also your birthday, you're probably backing that ass up to Juvenile. Yeah. My man is turning the big 5-0 today.
Oh, wow.
He's a senior.
Wow.
He's a senior citizen, yes. Gary's favorite singing diva, Diana Ross, is 81, and damn, she looks good.
Yup. And Pirates of the Caribbean and Love Actually star Keira Knightley is 40.
Only Murders in the Building star and legendary comedian Martin Short is 75.
All right, and dream on, because Aerosmith legend Steven Tyler turns 77.
All right, this shea butter baby is applying that pressure. Talk about singer Ari Lennox, she's 34.
Ooh.
All right, y'all, who in the chat, who y'all running that cake up for?
The cake?
I don't know, because it's between, for me, it's between Diana and Ari.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah.
We just omitting Juvenile out of the conversation.
He's out of there.
Oh my goodness.
He can't back it up anymore. He's got to kind of really got to park it. He got to reverse slowly, okay?
Yeah.
Who you got, Tanner?
It's interesting. Like I definitely like Steven Tyler when I was like in high school. Like I was a big Aerosmith fan.
Okay.
But also I probably danced to Juvenile more than I did Aerosmith. Like how do you not like Come on, back that ass up.
I mean, yeah. You know what? I kind of want to change my.
Stop. Like, come on, that's an all-time banger.
No, you're right.
Even women who got their life together and be like, I ain't about that life no more.
Yes.
When Back That Thing come on,
You got to. Even if you're 81, I'm sure Diana throws it back.
Yo, when Portia used to work here, every time we'd have a little break, somebody would throw Back That Thing up, and she'd be like, I don't do that no more. All of a sudden, you just start.
You can't just want you.
But her top wouldn't be moving. It would just be the bottom.
See, she has skills, though. That's a skill.
Very skilled.
Yo, did you see the Tiny Desk concert he put on?
Uh-uh.
So NPR does this thing called the Tiny Desk concert. Juvenile went on and did that song on the Tiny Desk concert.
Was it awesome?
It was outstanding.
I've got to go run it back on YouTube. I'm going to watch it.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'm giving it to Juvenile.
All right, so one Juvenile, you got one Diana Ross, and I'm gonna spread the cake out. I'm gonna give it to Ari Lennox because I like her approach to everything.
Yeah, me too.
She's so transparent and just like doing her thing or whatnot, man. It's super dope.
Yeah.
Now,
And she looks like she smells good.
she looks like she smells like all the shea butter, but she makes her own shea butter.
Period. Ari butter.
I didn't wait. You can DIY shea butter? Is that real?
You can.
Really?
Yeah.
Just like add whatever essential oils you want to it, just to give it to your little personal panache.
Warm it up.
Good to go.
Oh, wait, okay, so tell us about your favorite or most memorable or most epic, however you interpret it. Tell us about one of your favorite birthday parties.
Wow. So my favorite birthday party, which would have to be my 21st.
Okay.
Right? That was my favorite birthday party, but I can't really remember it.
A little blurry.
It was like that. Because, we wanted to do this, like, something shot challenge. Social media is like whatever.
Yeah.
So it was like 21 shots. So you had to do as many shots. So I tried. It was Jose Cuervo.
Oh, no.
And I got 7 shots in, and everybody was calling me a lightweight. I don't remember what happened.
7?
I did back that ass up. I had to have done that, but I don't remember. But it was so fun, doing it. Everybody's dancing, having a good time, but we shot it back.
7 shots of tequila is a lot.
Jose Cuervo.
Yeah.
I feel like that matters. I don't know.
It does matter.
I feel like I could do 7 shots of Don Julio, but I don't know. 7. That's like.
You're a Titan. You're now a Titan. Like anybody who calls you a lightweight, you took the shots.
I did.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you went up a weight class.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Wow.
So cook it up, man. All right, listen. Have you ever looked at somebody and just been like, yeah, they probably did whatever they said they did?
What's your aptitude and taste for racial profiling?
I like it sometimes on a Tuesday morning. Absolutely,
Yeah?
I can racial profile on a Tuesday morning.
We can get a little racial profiling? Okay, cool. Because when we come back, we're going to need your help solving a crime.
Ooh, okay.
We're going to come back with everybody's favorite game, Whose Cousin Is It? We'll see you in 2.
I know you're going through a lot. I wonder if you know that we can get help. Let's see how far we can go. Love, your mind.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know wherever you are.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie, nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Greg, come on man, let's split a ride home.
As we work to get through these times together, you may not be thinking about blood donation, but blood is needed to save the lives of people who are sick with a range of illnesses. It's easy and safe to give. If you are in good health, please donate. We need heroes now. Visit redcrossblood.org to schedule an appointment.
I know you're going through a lot. I wonder if you know that we can get help. Let's see how far we can go. Love, your mind.
Hey, welcome back.
Hey.
It's time for everybody's favorite game. Whose cousin is it? All right, now, listen, it's all in the clues and the details.
Right.
And if it starts with Florida, you already kind of know where we're going
If the F
with
word
it.
is in there.
Let's get to it, shall we?
Okay, a grown-ass 53-year-old Texas man janitor at a medical office in Houston was sentenced to 6 years, oh God, for peeing into water cooler and bottles, infecting employees with STDs.
Whoa.
We know.
That's nasty.
So in 2022, an employee noticed a funny taste and smell to the water in the cooler. So she brought her own water bottles to work. But when left in the office, she noticed it smelled and tasted funny the next day.
A doctor did a urinalysis test, and guess what? That water had some of that pee in it. So the employee set up a pee sting by placing an empty water bottle on her desk in front of a teeny tiny, itsy bitsy, teeny weeny hidden camera.
No.
The janitor was caught pissy-handed. And this man put his parts on the mouth of the water bottle and urinated in it. When confronted, the pee bandit admitted to his crimes.
The employee took an STD. The employee took an STD panel and tested positive for herp type 1.
No, herpes.
Something that she had never tested positive for before ever, and she wants all of you to trust her on that.
I believe her.
The janitor also tested positive, in addition to chlamydia, not the clap. And other employees tested positive as well.
Woo! That's like the Coca-Cola freestyle machine of STDs
That's
that man
nasty.
has.
Oh my God, that's terrible, bro.
All right, whose cousin is this?
Okay.
Who y'all got in the chat?
Look me in the face.
All right.
And
I have to
dare
look you in the face when I say this.
And I dare you to tell me it's not my cousin.
It's your cousin, bro.
Right?
That's how I feel. It's Tanner's cousin.
I feel like it probably is your cousin.
Okay.
However, I would not discount the fact that other cousin also could have been responsible for this crime.
Like what?
This doesn't feel like your cousin, though. You know what I'm saying?
Not at all. Not at all. R. Kelly's behind bars. We know where he is. So it could, you know. Yeah.
And he's like more direct with it, right? He's not gonna hide and do it in a water bottle. He's gonna do it on.
He's gonna do it on tape, wearing a mask.
It's
just the eye part.
The sneaky part.
Yeah.
It's the fetish part and the sneaky part together that feels.
Well, so is it a fetish or is it like I want to spread the love or like I want to spread? Like, what is it? Like why would somebody do this?
I don't
Tanner,
know.
why would your cousin do this?
Listen, I don't have the answer.
This is bad.
I just know which way to point the finger.
Oh God, 6 years only.
He was trying to get his whole office on that Valtrex coupon, you know?
Yeah.
And then they're saying that our producer's saying that he told the authorities that he had a sickness. So I guess
Well, damn, yeah, chlamydia, herpes.
He had a sickness, all right.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna stand 10 toes down that this is an other, and I'm gonna get more specific and say that this is from a country that we probably beat in either World War I or II.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, a place that ends in stan, or like a place that got Z's in it. But you Bezakakanach.
No.
A place with an A. Well, a lot of them have A's at the end, but.
I bet my bottom dollar it's Tanner's cousin.
Tanner's cousin?
It's Tanner's cousin.
I got my cousin, you got my cousin, HK's got other cousins.
Going other.
Let's do it. You ready? Move that van!
That's not Tanner's cousin.
Not quite from the region that I thought, but it was another.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's my cousin passing, but that's
Why
not
would
my
he?
cousin.
That is crazy.
Diaz nasty.
Lucio Diaz, why?
Ah, man.
Like, ay caramba.
And then not you did it. Okay, you did it in a water cooler, right? Because you wanted
Yeah.
everybody to suffer, I guess. Okay.
Yeah.
But then she puts a camera in front of a small water bottle, and then you empty the clip on that too, bro. What's up?
First off, if you're a janitor, your one mission is to leave places clean.
Yeah, he hated his job.
And then you show up running your ding-a-ling all over people's water bottles.
No.
Filling them with that man-made Gatorade.
No. Oh my God.
Why would you do such a thing?
Yeah, but here's the thing. I am curious to, what did those people do to him?
Yeah, exactly.
And I am not defending this man and his actions for what he did.
Yeah.
Because you ruined many people's lives at the place you work.
Yeah.
But, like, what did they probably, like, you know, as they see him cleaning up and sweeping, like, crumble pieces of paper?
That's what I
or
thought.
dump empty Funyun
Immediately.
crumbs on the floor,
Yeah.
like, clean it up, Diaz.
Or do you think there was like one person in the entire office who was like, Lucio, good morning? And then that person, like when everyone got the clap, that person didn't? Like, did he spare one
I would
office or
hope
one
so.
desk?
I'm not gonna lie. No matter where I go, I'm always nice to my coworkers
Yeah.
because of these types
Yeah.
of reasons.
There
Okay,
we
like
go.
I'm bringing cookies and shit. I'm doing it all because I can.
When I go through a drive-thru, I turn into a goddamn therapist.
Yeah.
Hey, how you doing today? Everything great? Cool. I'm gonna have that number one.
Because I want you to spare me.
Yeah.
If you do some messed up shit to everybody else, I want you to spare me.
Yeah.
Have me in mind.
I'll take that survivor's remorse.
I sure will. Give everybody, I'm sorry you had chlamydia cookies. I'm
not
sorry.
chlamydia cookies.
Yikes.
Well,
Not
yo,
the chlamydia
Miss
cookie.
Rose, it has been a pleasure
I love
having
you
you on the
guys.
show
Yeah,
today.
thank
Like, yo,
you.
you've been a vibe. Can you tell people how they can tap in with your energy, your new podcast, and all that stuff you got going on?
So on all platforms, you guys can follow me on Keah Rose _.
Keah Rose _, all platforms.
You kept that so easy.
You know
Yeah.
it.
You're like, yo, the E is a
Simple.
3. Like, some people just be real weird
Hell
with
no,
it.
because I want you to actually find me. I want you to
Make it
find
easy
me.
for the folks. Appreciate y'all in the chats, the comments, and all that good stuff. It goes way further than you possibly know. But also don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit record all if you're watching it on TV.
That's right. Share it. Tell a friend, tell an enemy, tell everybody you know. Share that link so we get more people watching Side Dish. And that Side Dish fam here in the comments, you guys.
Come on.
All right.
Run it up.
Run it up. All right. We'll see you guys later. Bye.
It's time for today's Face-Off on Fox Soul. Challengers Quan LX and Big Angry Adams ready to go blow by blow on those hot topics. Face-Off on Fox Soul starts right now.
Violent sports out there is the voice.
Not a sport.
It is a violent.
It's a sport?
It is a violent sport. You lose your head, your neck, because you're fighting for your possessions, your children. Everything that you care about the most happens to go, you go head up with divorces. It's knuckle up season. So this is why I say, don't get married.
What?
The hell with it.
Stop.
Yeah, you get married.
Iman and Tiana was one of my favorite couples. If they ain't make it, ain't nobody gonna make it. You are doomed.
Now that's how I feel about Remy and Papoose.
Yeah, Remy and Papoose. Come on,
I don't
man.
know if I want to go get married now.
It ain't even. They don't work. That's
true.
the conversation.
It don't work.
It don't work no more. It don't work.
You want to be like Neo?
No, that don't work either.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want 4 people to worry about all day, 4 birthdays, 4 Valentine's. That's too much. I ain't got enough sexual stamina for 4 women every night. That's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But what I'm saying is, marriage don't work no more, Kiki.
In this round, here's Quan LX.
Charles, we were watching a podcast where some young brothers and sisters were speaking about the state of marriage in America, and one young brother was stating that he felt that marriage is no longer worth it in this country because it's like almost a combat sport to be married today. And they use examples of entertainment figures and sports athletes to speak about them not having successful marriages. Charles, I would say this. Hollywood marriages rarely ever last long anyway, period. That's just the way it's been, because everybody sleep with everybody in Hollywood. Athletes and entertainment figures don't make the best husbands or best wives. You see a lot of athletes have a better relationship to a football or basketball than they have to their own wives and children. You see a lot of female athletes who are always on the road now, and they really can't be in the home to be the mother that those children need to be. Traditionally, fathers were athletes always on the road, not raising their children, and many male athletes will tell you the worst thing about being a professional athlete was that they were not at home there to raise their children. So I wouldn't use those examples as justification to say that marriage does not work, but I will say this. If you're a man, I'll take a man because I'm a man. If a woman was not raised by her father, that's a real red flag for you. As a man, it should be. If a woman spend more time in the club, at the parties and the hot spots than she spend in church or spend in the mosque, get the hell away from her. If a woman got multiple different baby daddies, take off running the other direction, brother, especially if she's a woman who have baby daddies that were failure and sorry men also themselves. There are some warning signs that men need to really look at before they decide to marry a female. Females should be very extremely careful in the men that they choose. I don't understand why any woman would be in a serious relationship with a man that don't have a job. He didn't have a job when you met him, and now you in love with him, and y'all been together a year, 2 years, and he's still at home playing video games, and he ain't got a job. There's a female in my own family, college graduate, beautiful young woman, beautiful. The man she's been with for now several years ain't never had a job and sits at home every day and play video games. That is the state of the mindset of young people in this country, and marriage, unfortunately, in America is a dying institution, Charles.
Well, I think a marriage is a dying institution for a number of reasons, but I mean, I think social media and the internet has changed the way people interact. It has become isolating. I think the fact that it is so expensive to purchase or even lease a home nowadays has many people staying in their parents' home for a far extended period of time, even when they have a job, right? Because we're just not compensating people enough. But I do see marriage as the foundational building block of American society, and I think it's important. And I think it's an important institution to defend. And when I say defend it, I do not think defending it is precluding people from engaging in it. I think gay marriage, wonderful thing. I think it's encouraged more marriages.
When did it become so wonderful?
I've always thought it was wonderful. I know you're a homophobe.
That ain't what I said. No. Don't put no false label on me.
Well, we all know.
Because earlier in this segment you said your Christian beliefs.
Okay.
So when did your Christian beliefs become popular with gay marriage?
Okay. Again, I am a longtime supporter for gay marriage.
You straight Nimrod.
I'm also a
you straight biblical Nimrod.
I'm also a longtime supporter of not imposing my religious beliefs on strangers. I know you don't get that. I also think that if you look at the New Testament, I think there is very little support in that book for the hatred that you commonly espouse. But let's stay on task.
Hatred, Charles.
Let's stay on task.
You sat in that same chair and said God was homophobic according to the Bible.
No, I didn't.
You did.
No, I didn't.
I asked you, is God wrong on his positions on homosexuality and same-sex relations in the Bible?
No.
You said yes, he was.
No, I did not.
So
You've
wait a minute.
made that up.
So you sit here today and you say that when the Bible says, but when the Bible says that no man should be with another man.
Last week you were advocating
in marriage or relationships. Are you telling me that God wrong or is he right?
Okay. Last week you
didn't water it down. You don't want to tell the truth.
No, last week you were advocating for the imposition of Sharia law here in these United States.
For child molesters.
Okay. No.
And rapists.
Generally speaking.
No, I didn't say that.
Okay.
I said child molesters and rapists.
Okay, so you just want your God for a certain
man,
you don't
look
want to
here.
impose them on everybody
for child
else?
molesters and rapists, yeah, let's have Sharia law.
Because I have heard you talk about the need to impose your religion on others, and I disagree with it.
I said those who claim the same faith I do.
Okay. The reality is that we need to promote marriage, that there are economic things that are destroying marriages. The fact that people are way too accessible on social media is leading to ending marriages. But just like anything, at the end of the day, it is mostly men that aren't committing to their marriages, men that are abandoning their marriages, men that are not committing to women, men that are not raising their children. And you talk about it from this perspective.
Women are not the same women for 20, 25, 30 years ago.
What do you mean?
Today's women got a whole new mindset, brother.
And what is that mindset?
You hear him saying stuff like things like this, like never before. I don't need no man. I'm an independent woman. I got my own money. I got my own education. I got my own house. I don't need no man. See, that kind of thinking, that's destroying marriage. You got women today saying this.
Well, right. Obviously, if there's a woman saying she doesn't
There's a lot of women saying it, Charles.
Okay, but there's a lot. Charles, there are far more men that aren't committing to relationships.
Then there's another segment of women saying this. I want a man, he got to be at least 6 foot tall, maybe 6'1".
So you can't get none of those women, can you?
I want a man. I want a man that's making at least 6 figures. Okay. Also, I want a man with no children, ain't never been divorced. So now she want a man at least 6 foot, a man that's at least making 6 figures, ain't got no children. Then she want a man that's not gay, and now she want a man. What?
Well, Quana,
But damn, Charles, she don't want no man. You know what she want? She want an idea.
I got it.
An idea that don't even exist in her own family because she can't find that same idea to her own family, Charles.
You're bitter and mad because you ain't 6 foot tall.
Charles,
and
I'm 5'11", brother.
Man, you 5'11".
I'm 5'11".
With inserts and
I'm
heels,
5'11".
baby.
And let me say this to you.
3-inch cowboy boot heels.
If we wasn't on TV, I would unzip in this coat so you can really see what I'm made of. He ain't nowhere close to what I am. But when I tell you, brothers and sisters, I'm a well put together black man.
I mean,
don't you? If I pull off this coat and let you see these thighs and let you see this upper body, let me tell you something.
I think we're hearing your insecurities.
You would wish you were me, homie. But Charles, marriage in America is dying, and I agree with you. Marriage is the very foundation of the success of a nation.
We should incentivize
but we've gotten away from it, Charles.
We should have more
Our young
tax
people don't even want
breaks
anymore.
for married couples. We should incentivize people with tax breaks for having children. We should do things to maintain the societal structure. We should encourage marriage. Right now, what you're sitting here is you're saying women, 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 women.
Charles.
But it's not women. It's almost exclusively
but
men.
a lot of men have walked away from the idea.
I was a quarterback at Hardaway High School. College first-round draft pick. During the football season, I would stop eating. But I didn't know I was depressed. We didn't have any education behind what mental health was. I started to learn it starts here first. If this is together, I'll be better as a father and as a husband. We have to redefine what being a strong man is and heal, love your mind.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know wherever you are.
As we work to get through these times together, you may not be thinking about blood donation, but blood is needed to save the lives of people who are sick with a range of illnesses. It's easy and safe to give. If you are in good health, please donate. We need heroes now. Visit redcrossblood.org to schedule an appointment.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know wherever you are.
Something I won't wish on nobody. I think that domestic violence is like real. And I was young. You think that like, I won't say that you think that it's love, but it's like when you go through it the first time, you may think like, oh my God, he loved me, he put his hands on me. But it's like after a while, you just learn that it's like, that is not okay.
Right.
And you have to get that person help. You have to. And it's something that like you should never tolerate. Like the first time, you gotta leave.
What would you say with someone in a similar situation? You went through it at a very young age. So what would you tell a young woman that's going through a very similar situation?
Leave. Because I think that like oftentimes you feel like it's love. Like you think like, oh, this person loves me. That's not love. And I think that like you should leave.
Was it hard for you to leave?
It was. It was hard for me to leave because again, I was young. I felt like it was love, and it's just like I tolerated it. And then after a while, like the last time was the last time. I was like, you know what, I can't do this no more. Like it's.
Did he beg you to come back?
Yeah.
And you're like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, I was like, nah. But I got him help though.
Did you?
Yeah.
Wow.
He had to go to anger management classes, and he came back and was like, you know what, thank you for that. I needed that. Like I needed that help. Like if it wasn't for you doing what you did, like I wouldn't. You know, like it was able to help. It was able to help me grow.
In this round, here's Charles Big Angry Adams.
So, Quanah, I'm going to be honest. That was a clip from Shannon Sharp's podcast, Club Shay Shay. I did not know who Young Miami was until the producer, until Matt suggested this clip to spur a conversation about domestic violence. But this young woman perfectly stated the reality of so many women of all ages who accept physical abuse and often look at themselves as, what did I do to deserve it? Or, they even when they don't do that math, that they stay and they put up with it, right? And you can tell from her comments, it sounds like, because if he was forced to do anger management, as she said, with her ex-boyfriend.
Got arrested.
He probably got arrested, and that was part of, it was probably a deferred agreement to get the case dismissed, usually is predicated on a batterer's intervention course or an anger management course. And hopefully it helped him process and recognize that there ain't never a justified reason for beating up a woman, especially a woman that you're in a romantic relationship with. But it really, who needs to be listening to those clip from Young Miami is the women. And obviously there are men who are victimized by domestic violence, but one, I'm sorry, call me sexist, but it's different. It's different when a woman hits a man, period, right? But it is almost always men hitting women, and it is women that often quietly endure it for their entire lives, and it's disgusting. We do have some cultures on this planet where it is absolutely seen as okay for men to beat women, and it's disgusting. And, I am very, I have nothing but applause for Young Miami, because she basically was giving a lesson to her peers and all the listeners about how when a man beats a woman, she needs to leave. She doesn't need to look back. There's no fixing that guy. That's just a human stain.
Charles, if you really look at any real numbers, any real studies, any man that was raised by a strong, active father in his life, you rarely see that man going around as a physical abuser of women. But it's mostly men who have not been raised by their fathers, and because those men come from a single female parent household, they have a lot of emotional responses, emotional ways of thinking and reacting. And so when there's a disagreement in that relationship with the female, they take an emotional position and put their hands on that woman. Any young man that was raised by a strong, productive father will know how to treat a woman, how to love a woman, how to protect a woman, and that no man under any circumstances puts his hands on a woman. But I would tell brothers all the time, and I've always told brothers this, if you got to beat her, you don't need her, brother. And I tell women, ain't no love good if it ain't good to you. But I have met women in my lifetime, Charles, that really believe if a man put his hands on her, then it's because he loves her and she must have did something to make him do it. But I've also seen women, Charles, that have been in bad physical abusive relationships with men, get in a relationship with a good man who don't believe in putting his hands on women, and when they have an argument, she'll physically attack that man, the one that won't put his hands on her, because she reverberates back to that level of abuse and trauma that she's known, and she winds up becoming the abuser in a new relationship with a young man or older man, a man, period. But I've been a survivor of physical domestic violence, Charles. I've been physically assaulted by a female before. And the trauma that you go through because you don't understand what it is you did or what are you doing wrong. We were in the bed, Charles, and, we were being intimate. And that woman grabbed me in my throat like this. And that woman said, harder, harder. And I said, I'm trying to smack, harder, harder. Charles, I didn't know what to do. I was doing my very best, and I was doing my best to try to win a gold medal in the process. But that woman grabbed me and smacked me across my head because I was insufficient. Charles, I was the victim of physical violence also, Charles. And I just want you to know that it's a traumatic experience.
Yeah, no, I can tell you're trying to make a joke, but I do applaud you.
What joke?
I do applaud you.
Did I say it was a joke?
Acknowledging
Did I say it was
to
a
our
joke?
audience that you're insufficient. I didn't expect you to come out with your insufficiency.
I'm not
today.
insufficient.
That's what you said. Your words.
No.
Your words.
I was involved with a woman that had a long body count.
What do they call it?
She had a body count from here to Georgia.
What was the
and what
song?
was I supposed
What
to
is
do,
the song?
Charles?
You don't want a short.
She had a body
short
count
man
from here to Georgia,
and
Charles.
You don't
What
want
was I supposed to do,
short
Charles?
man. Okay, let's get back to the
I
serious.
did not
This
know
is
I
a
should have
serious
tied a
topic.
board to my back
This
instead of
is a serious
falling in.
topic.
Charles, I was a victim of abuse.
Before you
and
reduce
you
this
gonna
to
victim
jokes,
shame.
hold on.
You're sitting here and victim
Hold on.
shaming.
I'm sorry, you're a short man.
You
But-
evil.
And let's get back to the serious topic. So when you said that usually it's the absence of a father that leads to a, that's not true. I mean, you make up stuff, you do a good job at it, but typically when men grow up to be violent with their partners, excuse me, it's because they witnessed it in the home, whether it was their biological father or another man.
Get some water because you're choking when you start lying. But go ahead on.
Okay.
You're going to pass out over there.
The truth is that usually when men grow up to be violent towards their partner, it is because they witnessed their father or another man in the home be violent towards their mother, right? That's the truth. And another number that people don't want to talk about, the one variable that increases the risk of physical violence in the home, both directed at the children and the mother, and sexual predator or sexual violence directed at the children, is the presence of a stepfather or a boyfriend that cohabitates in the home. And because they obviously view the children as different, and some despise the children. And it goes back to, we were talking about families and the breakdown of marriages in this country. You know, really, this country would be a better place if our government did more to incentivize families staying together instead of incentivizing
to celebrate
women
and reward traditional marriage.
You got to kick the man out of the home so you can get the food stamps. You got to kick the man out of the home to get the benefits, right? In fact, we should do more for couples to stay together, and we should do more for people that are raising their children in a two-parent household than we do for anyone else.
As an ex-police officer, let me ask you a question. How many times did you ever go to a domestic violence scene and she called the police because he was beating on her, but the minute you pull out the handcuffs, you become the enemy?
Oh, let me tell you something. Okay, on night shift in Houston in the 90s, in South Houston, you would do domestic calls from 9:45 when you came to work till midnight, and then it'd start to be drunk car accidents after that. I literally saw an officer, Eddie Martin, I saw he handcuffed the husband who was beating the woman. I remember the apartment. This happened in like 1996. I remember the 801 South Allen Genoa. I can tell you the address of the apartment complex. I can tell you. This woman picked up a broomstick, and while Officer Martin is handcuffing the husband that just beat her up, she called the police for us to come out here, right? She picks up a broomstick and starts beating Officer Martin. I had to take the broomstick away from her and put the handcuffs on her. I have seen so many, and see, they changed the law while I was a policeman. Used to be, if the victim said, no, I don't want him to go to jail, you couldn't even put him in jail. Or if she went down to the station and said, I want to drop charges, you had to drop charges. And in the 90s, while I was an officer, they shifted it to make the state the complainant, to take away from women the ability to drop the charge. So, I mean, look, it's very commonplace.
I've had a number of women, literally 4 or 5 a month, that have called my office. The man is currently in jail for beating the hell out of them.
And she wants the charge dropped.
And they want me to help them do everything under the sun to get those charges dropped. But yet they admit he was beating the hell out of them, Charles. Well, this is a sick mindset that's been produced in this country, man.
But really, what's the solution, right? I mean, we need to be more aggressive with the impermissibility of physical violence in the home, right? Directed between the man and the woman, right? But we also need to do so much more. And we always, oh, it's socialist, oh, it's this. You know, the right is always against it. But it should be something that the Republicans and the GOP celebrate. Any sort of directed benefit to encourage people to get married, to have children, to raise their children, that would be a far better expenditure of money, right, than right now our welfare system encourages women to kick the father out, encourages women to stay single,
but what about,
all because they can get more checks.
But what about a number of men
who are the victims of domestic violence and have to suffer in silence because they believe
I'm
nobody's going to believe them.
I'm going to be
because
honest.
they believe nobody's going to believe them.
That typically there are some incredibly violent women, but it's
and a lot of men are afraid to tell it because it's not masculine, it's seen as feminine, and then they believe that law enforcement and the courts won't even believe them.
And oftentimes you do have that situation, but the truth is it's typically the men that are violent, and we can pretend it's not different. But if my wife were to slap me, it'd be probably because I deserved it. And I don't see it as domestic violence, right? There's a huge difference. We can pretend gender don't matter, but it does. And it's very different when a woman hits a man than when a man hits a woman.
You several times before.
I probably deserved it.
I can tell the way you just said it.
And I probably
she
deserve
whoops the hell out
every
you up in there.
moment of it because I got a crazy mouth.
See, you got a mental health problem. I got to help you, brother.
I know you're going through a lot. I wonder if you know that we can get help. Let's see how far we can go. Love, your mind.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie nailed it. We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on, man, let's split a ride home.
As we work to get through these times together, you may not be thinking about blood donation, but blood is needed to save the lives of people who are sick with a range of illnesses. It's easy and safe to give. If you are in good health, please donate. We need heroes now. Visit redcrossblood.org to schedule an appointment.
I know you're going through a lot. I wonder if you know that we can get help. Let's see how far we can go. Love, your mind.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know wherever you are.
That's it for the Face-Off on Fox Soul. We'll catch you next time.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie nailed it. We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on, man, let's split a ride home.
As we work to get through these times together, you may not be thinking about blood donation, but blood is needed to save the lives of people who are sick with a range of illnesses. It's easy and safe to give. If you are in good health, please donate. We need heroes now. Visit redcrossblood.org to schedule an appointment.
I was a quarterback at Hardaway High School. College first round draft pick. During the football season, I would stop eating. But I didn't know I was depressed. We didn't have any education behind what mental health was. I started to learn it starts here first. If this is together, I'll be better as a father and as a husband. We have to redefine what being a strong man is and heal, love, your mind.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, Real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know wherever you are.
I know you're going through a lot. I wonder if you know that we can get help. Let's see how far we can go. Love, your mind.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know wherever you are.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie. Nailed it. We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
As we work to get through these times together, you may not be thinking about blood donation, but blood is needed to save the lives of people who are sick with a range of illnesses. It's easy and safe to give. If you are in good health, please donate. We need heroes now. Visit redcrossblood.org to schedule an appointment.
Face-Off on Fox Soul. Challengers Quan LX and Big Angry Adams ready to go blow by blow on those hot topics. Face-Off on Fox Soul starts right now.
My question is, if we give a woman the right to opt out of motherhood, should we also give a man the right to opt out of fatherhood and 18 years of child support?
I agree. You don't agree?
No, I don't know.
But if a mom walks into an abortion clinic and says, you know what, I'm not feeling this, and gets an abortion, the dad has no say. How come this mom can't? Let's just say it's a one-night stand. This is hypothetical. And the mom comes back to the dad and is like, hey, I'm pregnant. Why can't he opt out if she was able to say, hey, I don't want this baby? It's a double standard.
Well, he could obviously sign his rights away, but he cannot physically make
he can't sign his rights away because he has to pay child support.
I mean,
he is legally bound by child support.
That's just the way it is.
I know, but do you think it's right?
You can't tell a woman to have an abortion. Like, that's it.
I know, but do you think it's right that a mom can say, I don't want this baby, but a dad never can?
I mean, I just think that's just the way it is.
But do you think it's right? Yes or no?
I
don't think it's right. I think the whole system's
We spend so much time talking about a woman's choice.
Right, but the man doesn't have one.
But my only point is, what reproductive rights does a man have?
None.
In this round, here's Charles Big Angry Adams.
You know, I think it's interesting hypothetical, Quanell, in that video, but I also think it's a bit nonsense, right? And if you limit it to the one-night stand issue and the woman's ability to choose, which of course, it doesn't exist in Texas anymore and doesn't exist in a number of conservative-leaning states that have either completely outlawed access to abortion or all but outlawed access to abortion, which I disagree with, right? Because I think that while I personally am not a fan of abortion, I think the reason that I have a problem with it is because of my personal religious beliefs about the soul, and that I should not impose my religious beliefs on anyone else. And, you know, that's just me. I understand that people disagree with me, but we can pretend that it's not different for men and women, but it is. The woman has to carry the child. Now, I don't think women should get abortions. I think that the children are a blessing. But I also don't think the government should be telling. We saw just here in Houston last week, we saw an illegal abortion clinic lead to some arrests. I was born in '72, so I don't remember the pre-Roe v. Wade era, but obviously back alley abortions and deaths and permanent harm to women were frequent occurrences back then, and I think we're going to continue to see that. But for a man, right, you make the conscious decision to have sex. I mean, you could use a condom and it could break, I guess, but for the most part.
And she could take birth control.
Hold on. I agree, right? But when you father a child, the state has a vested interest in your participation, right? Because if the mother goes and gets benefits, the state's going to want that money back. So I don't see the government ever agreeing to this, right? But it does seem, but it's unfair. But the rejoinder is, well, it's unfair that the woman has to carry the baby by herself. It's unfair that so many men feel that it's okay to have a child and not participate in that child's upbringing, that it's okay to just ghost women left and right, that there are different burdens here, and frankly, it's my view on it is if a man creates a child, he should be obligated not just his money, but he should be involved in that child's life.
Charles, it's wrong for any man to impregnate a woman, then pretend like the woman and the baby don't exist and
It
just
happens
get
every
ghosted.
day in this country.
But let me wake you up.
Okay.
There are women in this country every day who have children from men and want that child support paid on time, but give that father hell in seeing that child. There are mothers right now in this country who make sure that child support check come on time, but when that father wants to visit that child, spend time with that child, that mother will alienate that father from that child and keep that child from that man from excuse after excuse after excuse. Then the man, if he ain't got tens of thousands of dollars to go back into the family courthouse and pay to get access to his child, then guess what? Shit out of luck. Charles, what we asking for and what all men are asking for and what women should be asking for is fairness and equality on both ends.
Well, that's not the question
Not
at
the
hand,
double standard.
The question
at hand is, should men have also rights and reproductive rights like women do?
Okay.
Because we've talked about this, Charles, on this show.
All right, men can get a vasectomy.
But wait
They
a minute,
have
though.
that
A woman
right.
can get her tubes tied.
Okay.
Okay. Same way he can wear a condom, she can take contraceptives.
Okay.
Charles, my issue here is,
I mean, you're ignoring the reality that the man,
Charles,
despite what all this gender nonsense would say, the man can't carry the baby.
Okay,
though.
so stop right there. So
Okay.
guess what? The man can't carry the baby. She makes a conscious decision to carry that baby. But if that man made it crystal clear to that woman that I don't want a child, I don't want to get you pregnant. If for some reason you get pregnant, then the child is
For
yours.
some reason.
If you decide,
I mean,
if
you
some
understand.
If some reason
you
you
gotta
get pregnant,
leave it in.
I didn't say somehow.
And you gotta orgasm.
I didn't say somehow.
You
I
said
said
for
some reason. Charles,
like it just
at
trickled
the
and
end of
trickled
the
out
day,
of the air.
the question is, why is it the mother
It
can
just
opt
fell in
out,
there.
but the mom can opt out whenever she gets ready, but not the father?
Well, not in Texas. Not where we're
Charles,
at. You can't opt out.
Charles, when she gets pregnant, she go to an abortion clinic if she wants to.
No, she can't. Not here.
Wait a minute.
Not in Texas.
We're just saying in one country where it's legal.
Okay.
And then she can go and say, you know what? I want to abort this baby. The father can be standing right there with us and say, no, I want my child. Please, I keep my child.
Yeah.
My child's life is sacred. And they tell their father, you have no rights.
Well, the
Charles, that's wrong.
difference is it's
wrong.
the woman carrying the baby.
Is it not a double standard?
Oh, no, I think it's a
It's a
different,
double standard.
I think we like to pretend in this brave new world of ours that gender doesn't matter and it's all fluid, but the truth is that women are built different than men, and men are built different, and it's the woman that carries the baby, so she has bodily autonomy. And again, let me say this. I think
But the
soul
man's
is
body
created an
included
exception.
her in getting pregnant. What autonomy does he have?
Well, maybe people should be having sex with people they have relationships with, and that.
I totally agree.
You know,
I believe in a woman's right of choice.
But you brought
choose
up,
who you're gonna lay down with.
You brought up
Make that conscious
these
decision.
women that are not allowing fathers to have access.
There's a lot of them, Charles.
No, hey, no, I've had women like that that I know.
For
that
real.
It's awful. But the truth is, and whether how much you want to pretend over there, the truth is that the majority of women want the fathers to participate. The majority of women want the fathers to participate both financially and with their time, and that more often
Charles,
than not,
you're wrong.
it is men.
Majority
it is men
of
that
the
don't
women-
pay, and it's men that don't show
Majority
up.
of the
And
women
you can lie to this
who are not
camera
with the
all
father,
day.
Charles. Nope. Majority of the women who are not with the father are divorcing the father. What they want first and foremost
is a check for child support.
That's not
That's
true.
one. And then two, this is what they want. They want the father to have a relationship with that child based on special conditions put in place by the mother.
Absolutely
and
not
Charles,
true.
let me tell you something, brother. There are good fathers out here, man, who are busting their ass to take care of these
don't
children,
disagree.
provide for these children, and just because the mother don't like the fact who his new woman is, who his new girlfriend is, they tell him quick, you can't see the baby no more, you can't see the child no more, and then will tell that man, well, because you got remarried and I don't like your new wife, the child can't come to your house, so guess what, the child can't spend the night no more. Charles, it's happening all over America, and what we need is equality for both women and men, not a double standard.
So how do you
Let's
achieve
be honest
that?
here, Charles.
You want men to not have to pay child support or participate in a kid's life?
That's not the case.
Well, that was the question.
But let me ask you a question.
That's the question. No, that's the question that you're not answering.
In that video, she said that the woman said a man can terminate his rights. That's not true. Even if a man terminates his rights, he's still
But do you
legally
think
held
he should be
responsible. He's
able
still
to?
legally held responsible for child support.
Okay, you don't think he should
No
be?
man should terminate his rights. But guess what, though? I have seen men, brother, literally contemplate suicide, who are current on child support payments, literally contemplate suicide because the mother just don't like the new woman he with and he can't even see his damn child. Charles, who stands up for them, Charles? Who stands up for those men?
I think-
And Charles, let me say this to you, brother. We need a better system in place that protects both mothers and fathers.
You're not at all answering the question. Do you think men, when a woman has their baby, should just be able to say, yeah, I'm not going to participate and just walk away?
No,
Yes or no?
I don't believe in that, no.
Okay, well, that was the question.
I don't
but
believe
more
in that.
importantly,
But-
you have all these, no, hold on. You have all these
But,
anecdotes. No,
Charles,
hold on. You
there
have
should
all
not
these
be a double
anecdotes.
standard of
you
rights.
have all of these anecdotes.
But there should be equal rights for both
You
mothers
have
and
all
fathers,
these
Charles.
anecdotes, but the truth is, it's men that are abandoning their children. That's the big issue in America.
Charles,
and in some
can I
communities,
share something
it's
with you?
far more exacerbated.
There was a study.
And you want to pretend
Hold on.
it's not.
Wait a
Let's
minute.
look at, let's
There
talk
was a
about
study, Charles.
fathers in the black
Charles,
community not
there was a
participating.
scientific study that said single fathers who raise young boys, those young men are less likely to go into the criminal justice system
agree.
than single mothers who raise single
I
boys.
agree.
So, Charles, why is it that when these boys become a certain age, we just don't send them to their fathers? Do you know how difficult it is for a woman to raise more than one young boy in a household by herself without a man?
It is because the fathers aren't participating. And
Charles,
you're lying to our
Charles,
viewers.
no, you
by
are lying
saying,
on
no,
fathers.
I'm not.
You're lying on fathers.
There are
Charles,
too many
most
fathers that
fathers
walk
want to
away.
participate. No, most fathers want to
It's
participate.
simply not
most
true.
fathers want to be involved. Most fathers want to spend time with their children. But the problem is, most fathers don't want to deal with the personal drama and the personal vindictiveness of a mother who's scorned.
You can always make an excuse not to raise your child. But the truth is, in
No
America,
excuse not to do that,
the
Charles.
truth is, in America,
But women in this country have been given way too many rights over men. You got good fathers, Charles, that'll fight like hell for their children, Charles.
There are some great
and the only
fathers.
thing that they did wrong was find a new woman.
Okay. Again, your anecdotes don't hold up to the data. The data shows that in most one-parent households with a non-participatory parent, it is the mother raising the children alone.
In the
And when
black
you-
community,
hold on,
7 out of
in
10
the
households.
black community,
7 out of 10 households.
It is far worse than every other community.
And welfare
right?
created that.
And, well, no, I think welfare contributed to it.
Welfare
but
created it
we
big
have
time.
too many fathers that aren't participating. You're pissing and moaning, attacking mothers, but
I'm
you're
not
giving
attacking
fathers
mothers.
a complete
What I'm
pass.
attacking is
All
the
these fathers
inequality.
that just
I'm attacking
have
the
sex,
double
have
standard,
a baby,
Charles.
and roll.
I'm attacking the double standard, Charles. Look, man, there are a lot of men who want to be involved that are being called deadbeat dads, no good dads. And if you
And
really
there are more
investigated it,
deadbeat,
you will see
no good
those
dads.
men are not deadbeat. They're not sorry men. It's just that they got to put up with so much bullshit from the mother to where they run away in depression,
There's
Charles.
always an excuse not to raise your child.
And I agree.
But a real
Every
man,
father should be
a real
involved.
man climbs every hurdle. But the truth is that most men don't have
But
hurdles.
why should every
Most
man
men just
have
don't
to
do
climb
it.
the hurdles
But they
of
don't.
a vindictive
They
mother?
don't. They don't.
But they do.
Most men,
Tens of
just,
thousands of men.
The problem
Hundreds of thousands of men
is,
do it
in
every day.
one-parent households with non-participatory father, it's
Brothers,
the dad that chose to roll.
Don't give up. Keep fighting, brothers.
I know you're going through a lot. I wonder if you know that we can get help. Let's see how far we can go. Love your mind.
As we work to get through these times together, you may not be thinking about blood donation, but blood is needed to save the lives of people who are sick with a range of illnesses. It's easy and safe to give. If you are in good health, please donate. We need heroes now. Visit redcrossblood.org to schedule an appointment.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know, wherever you are.
I know you're going through a lot. I wonder if you know that we can get help. Let's see how far we can go. Love your mind.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie, nailed it. We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's put a ride home.
America is either you're gay or you're part of the Illuminati.
Yes.
That's how you make. If you don't have a gay rumor and you don't have Illuminati, you haven't made it yet.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
Is that what you guys say in y'all community when a white guy makes it?
No, we say Epstein's Island. We're like, he was on the flight logs. No, but I think what happens is there is this like competition, and then sometimes now that there are these platforms, it kind of gets out.
Right.
And it just comes from people wanting a little bit more.
But here's the thing though, Schultz, is that 80% of the money that's in circulation was printed since 2020.
So there's a lot more money out right now.
So if they run out, they'll print more.
Yeah.
I'm not taking, see, you can't get mad at results you didn't get for work you didn't put in.
You're speaking logically, but people react off emotion, man. And I think sometimes emotionally, they're just trying to find a reason why they aren't where you are. Making it as a black dude in America.
In this round, here's Quanell X.
Charles, that was a very interesting discussion by Brother Shannon Sharp on his podcast platform, Club Shay Shay. And he was speaking with a comedian, and they were cracking the joke that some black men are saying in America that you cannot make it in America as a black male if you're not gay or part of the Illuminati. Now, let me put that in context. That, to some degree, is true in mainstream media and mainstream entertainment platforms. A lot of the mainstream media platforms in this country are not interested in strong, black, conscious male voices that are heterosexual. There are a lot of left-wing liberal media platforms that they want feministic, gay black men to really be on their platforms. Strong, black, conscious, loving, thinking black men that are heterosexual, they're shunned. Now, in the entertainment industry, it's the same thing. Now, in everyday life, I don't believe that. A black man in America can be whatever he desires to be in this country if he truly has enough faith, he's willing to make the ultimate sacrifices, and he's disciplined. Great self-discipline, strong, unshakable faith, and you're willing to make some sacrifices that are not popular in other people's lives, but you'll make them in your own. Nothing can really stop you from being successful. You're going to have obstacles, you're going to have impediments, but those three characteristics, if you can master those, you can sidestep them, overstep them, understep them, go around them, if not just crush them all together. So black men in America can absolutely be successful, but we cannot use crutches as excuses, whatever the social crutches may be, as excuses of why we're not being successful in America today. We can be successful, but we got to get rid of some of these excuses.
So I felt like Andrew Schultz made the point that the discussion was, and that was the comedian, he's an essayist.
I've never watched him.
an interesting fellow, who I think he was making the point that is something people say when they're envious of other people's accomplishments, right? When a guy sees another guy that he, in his mind's eye, thinks is not as hardworking or not as charming or funny or charismatic, or who he just generally sees as less than, succeed in the media space, that he's got to say, oh, well, he's, performing, he's putting out, he's part of the Illuminati or what. And we do have tremendous gatekeeping in the media industry, right? When I had some people shopping me for some judge shows, I had some high-level meeting, Judge Judy type shows. And I've literally been told, we're not doing a lot of white male content right now, which, what do you say to that? Well, I can't change this, and I do think that we've seen far more of that type of discrimination in the last 4 or 5 years. Obviously, it is a sea change from decades or centuries of, but you see when, post-COVID, the corporate hiring surge, straight white males were the only ones that weren't getting any jobs. In fact,
where the straight black males getting in the media?
Hold on. I'm talking about jobs generally. I'm not limiting it to this media. I just saw an interesting statistic that the New Yorker, the biggest publisher of fiction writing, has not published a straight white male in the New Yorker who was born after 1984, right? That we have just decided that it's being a cisgendered straight white male is somehow a bad thing in America.
I disagree with you. I agree and disagree.
And I'm not talking about people born into money. Obviously, people born into privilege are one thing.
But I agree and
Harvard,
disagree with
Yale, all those. As a black male applying, they just. In fact, I just saw new statistics. Scores way down here. Average is way down here.
God-fearing black
Asians
men
and whites way up here.
are not one in this country,
So
Charles.
I do not.
There's a war against all men in America that are God-fearing heterosexual males.
I disagree. I think the discrimination that's tolerated
Charles,
and allowed right now in America.
Y'all been suffering discrimination for about 4 or 5 years.
Okay.
Black men live for 500.
It's been happening.
I was a quarterback at Hardaway High School. College first-round draft pick. During the football season, I would stop eating. But I didn't know I was depressed. We didn't have any education behind what mental health was. I started to learn it starts here first. If this is together, I'll be better as a father and as a husband. We have to redefine what being a strong man is and heal, love your mind.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know wherever you are.
As we work to get through these times together, you may not be thinking about blood donation, but blood is needed to save the lives of people who are sick with a range of illnesses. It's easy and safe to give. If you are in good health, please donate. We need heroes now. Visit redcrossblood.org to schedule an appointment.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know wherever you are.
In today's Face-Off, Up.
Before I finish this video, a little bit of backstory. This happened at Meadowwoods Elementary in Orlando, Florida at a kindergarten graduation. The woman that you saw spitting was upset that the black woman came and sat down by her man and just by her family in general. So this is how the rest of the video went. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Yes, sir. There's a seat here. There's a seat. There's a seat here.
You can record all day.
There's a seat here. It's okay.
You see? It's not
Exactly.
staged.
Look, exactly. We're all sitting. It's all right.
But it's not staged.
You're sitting, sir.
Did I give you permission?
You ain't right,
Okay, but can you move? Can you move,
Oh my
please?
God! No, I'm not
I'm
moving.
not giving you permission to record.
No,
So can
I'm
you
not
move?
moving. No, I'm not moving.
You have to tell me you're recording. You're not even
No, I don't
telling me.
have to tell. Kill me.
Wow. I think you spit on somebody, I don't even care what happened, right? I don't even care if that woman came and sat down in between her kids or did something obnoxious, which you can't really tell from the video what set off the altercation. But whether she spit on her just because she didn't want her sitting next to her because she was an awful person, like the white family were awful people, or she spit on her because the African-American woman sat in between a group taking a space that was taken by a kid that was up, or some justification. I don't care. You can't spit on people. That
Not
woman
only
should have
that,
punched her in the face.
But the white guy, he assaulted the black woman too, by knocking the phone out of her hand.
Look,
then the white wife
that's
of his,
insane.
or the white woman of his, threatens to kill her, then spits on her. But I gotta say this.
All over seating
But I gotta say
at
this.
a kid's event.
Sister, I hate that happened to you, beautiful black woman. But where in the hell were you raised? Because you're the first black woman I've ever seen let a white woman spit on her and you not beat the hell out that white girl.
Okay, why?
And ain't no what?
Why does it have
That's
to be?
the first black woman I've ever seen let a white woman spit on her in her face and you not beat the dog shiznit out that white girl? What?
Okay, well, there was a man involved. Maybe she was worried about getting assaulted. Maybe the African-American woman was just a nice lady who sat down on an open bleacher
baby, them
and
days
got
over.
assaulted.
This ain't
Maybe she's
1940.
a grown-up
This ain't
professional
1930.
woman. Maybe race
This
has
ain't
nothing to do with
1920.
it. Maybe she's a grown-up, grown-up person, and then maybe she went and actually reported it to the
That
authorities.
sister should have got up and knocked every teeth out that white woman's mouth that she could find.
You ever had somebody
and
spit
then
on
guess
you?
what?
You ever had
then
somebody
guess
spit
what?
on you?
Look for a black man in the audience somewhere
But it
and
doesn't
say this white man assaulted me too, and let's have a repeat of Mississippi.
Well, we
back on the river.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
Like you're back on the
we've
river,
seen
Mississippi.
over and over again, women get assaulted by men, and men standing around watching and doing nothing.
And video recording.
It's a new era. But I applaud. I don't know what set all this off, but I applaud the African American woman for responding like an adult. It was a children's event. It was
Sister,
a
you
children's
should have got
event.
up and beat the dog shiznit out that white
Well,
girl.
that white woman needs to go to jail, and the man should go to jail just for that stupid neck tattoo.
That's it for the Face-Off on Fox Soul. We'll catch you next time.
I know you're going through a lot. I wonder if you know that we can get help. Let's see how far we can go. Love, your mind.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know wherever you are.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfies. Nailed it. We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's put a ride home.
I know you're going through a lot. I wonder if you know that we can get help. Let's see how far we can go. Love, your mind.
As we work to get through these times together, you may not be thinking about blood donation, but blood is needed to save the lives of people who are sick with a range of illnesses. It's easy and safe to give. If you are in good health, please donate. We need heroes now. Visit redcrossblood.org to schedule an appointment.
I know you're going through a lot. I wonder if you know that we can get help. Let's see how far we can go. Love, your mind.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know, wherever you are.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfies. Nailed it. We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
As we work to get through these times together, you may not be thinking about blood donation, but blood is needed to save the lives of people who are sick with a range of illnesses. It's easy and safe to give. If you are in good health, please donate. We need heroes now. Visit redcrossblood.org to schedule an appointment.
I know you're going through a lot. I wonder if you know that we can get help. Let's see how far we can go. Love, your mind.
I'm Chef Ryan Randino, and today I'm gonna take you home with my New Orleans barbecue shrimp and grits. A classic, but just know you're watching food culture. So to start the shrimp and grits, we're definitely going to start with the grits. Starting with 2 cups of chicken stock. We're gonna have a cup of grits. So when it comes to cooking grits, just like cooking polenta, you wanna go 4-to-1. If you want soft polenta, you go 6-to-1. So, you wanna season that with salt and pepper.